Bro, is that a bee? I'm about to cry. That's a bee. It's a bee on my camera right now, y'all. Okay. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Because out of all the places you can go, why would you come to my camera? Why would you? Oh, cute.
Okay.
To me. If y'all see the bee, don't mind it, okay? I'm scared. Okay, anyways, as someone who's dealt with panic attacks and anxiety like for at least 3 years of my life, I feel like I know a few things about it, and I know a few things on how to control or overcome it. Whether you've experienced anxiety from public speaking or something as big as fear of failure, I've got you covered in today's video. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So this is a new setup. Sorry if you can hear barking. I'm at the park and there's like dogs over here, but don't mind that. I thought I wanted to get out and do a different environment instead of talking to you guys in my room like I always do. So I hope you guys appreciate this environment. In today's video, as you can see by title, I'm going to be talking about my experience with anxiety and panic attacks and what I did to overcome that, because now as someone who hasn't had a panic attack in I think over a year, like I feel like I know a few things that have helped me, and these things can probably help you as well. If you're new here, my name is 𝙃𝙐𝙎. If you're not, welcome back. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get started on this video. I hope you guys can hear me well. I'm using this little mic that I bought off of Amazon, so hopefully you can hear me pretty well. But if you see me looking down, I have my tablet right here, and I'm just gonna have all the things that I wrote down. First off, we're gonna go off of the definition. What is anxiety? And per Google, anxiety is a feeling of fear, dread, or uneasiness. It might cause you to sweat, feel restless or tense, and you might have a rapid heartbeat as well. This can be different for many people. For me, I was sweating and I did have a rapid heartbeat. But for me, when I used to have anxiety attacks, like my face would be tingly and my hands would be tingly, like kind of that numb feeling. I don't know if you guys have experienced that before, but for me, that's how it happened. Feel faint. Yeah, it's just different for everybody. So especially for why they're having anxiety. And I feel like there are also different stages, if you will, of anxiety. You can have anxiety from something as small as taking a test. It's not really you in front of other people per se. It's more about maybe you're not prepared, or you feel like you're not as prepared. Or you can have anxiety, things like public speaking, and you're in front of a lot of people. So I feel like that can cause you to be a lot more anxious, but your feelings are still valid either way, even if you're anxious for something small or you're anxious for something big. So you shouldn't be embarrassed or wanting to shut yourself out and be away from people just because you are feeling anxious or have an anxiety attack. Yeah, I really recommend, if you have a support system, go to your support system and tell them how you feel, and they can really help you to talk through it. That's what happened with me, with my mom and my dad. I had to come to them and, they helped calm me down, and then they asked me specifically why I'm feeling anxious. This next part of the video, we're going to be talking about my experience with anxiety and panic attacks. So I believe it started in like 9th grade, I would say. Yeah, like right when I started high school. I had this teacher, I'm not gonna say names, but I had this teacher and her assignments were pretty hard for me, and like I wasn't doing as well in the class as I should have been, because one thing about me, history and like geography and stuff like that, I do not like them subjects. I don't agree with those subjects. Like it doesn't register in my brain as well as like math or English or something would. It was a human geography class and I was not getting the grades that I wanted to get. So when my dad saw my grades and he was asking me about it, I think this was literally the start of it. He was asking me about my grades and I literally almost passed out. I fell on the floor and I had an anxiety attack, and my face was tingling, my hands were tingling, like I couldn't breathe. I would try to stand up and like go outside to get some air, and I felt like my lungs were literally collapsing. Like I could not breathe at all. That was literally the beginning of, I think, from my 9th grade year to my early junior year. I would have them like on and off. Most of it was because of school, but also because the fear of like failure and me not doing well in my school. And even though my grades were literally good, so I was kind of being anxious over nothing, but it was just certain classes where I was struggling in, and I felt like that was just like the end of the world, which is not. If you feel that way, like one little minor slip up is not the end of the world. Again, as I talked about in the intro of this video, the symptoms that I had was face tingles, like my hand was tingling, I couldn't breathe, I was crying a lot. I don't know if these are common anxiety symptoms, but for me, that's what I always had. I couldn't breathe and I would break out into sweat. Like I would look like I was sick basically because I was sweating, and I would get like pale, because I guess that's just how my body reacted to the stress. During that time, I feel like the root of my anxiety was fear of failure. I didn't want to basically do bad in anything that I did. And if I felt like I was slowly heading towards that way, even though it wasn't like that at all, I just got like really, really stressed out and really anxious. And I was staying up late every night doing homework, and up until like 1 and 2 in the morning, I was stressing over that. And if I didn't get the assignment done, I would wake up in the morning and do the assignment. It was kind of just like a rough time for me. I think also because I didn't have like an 8th grade year, because that's when the pandemic was happening. So like half of our 8th grade year got cut off. And it was like after that, we were virtual for a while. And then after virtual, my sophomore year, yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a plane. But anyways, yeah, my sophomore year, I think I had her sophomore year. Sorry. Sophomore year, I was just struggling. I was just in a really stressful state all the time because of the workload, especially coming from virtual where we didn't really have as much work, or everything was on the computer, to coming in school and everything was on the computer still, but it was a lot more work because we were in class with her, and it was really just her class in general. Every other class I feel like I was doing good in. As my sophomore year, towards the end of my sophomore year and then the beginning of my junior year, I started to, honestly, I told myself that I would not stay up late anymore doing work. If it didn't get done by 11, 12, I was going to bed, and then I could wake up or do it in class. In another class that I had, yeah, I wasn't about to stress over that and lose sleep over work, and I honestly, that worked out for me really well. So I have 5 classes. That's how my school worked out. I have 5 classes each day, so 10 classes in total. So if I had an assignment, one of her assignments due that Monday, but I'd have to see her until 5th period, I was going to do the homework that I missed or that I didn't finish that night prior, from 1st period all the way until 4th period if I didn't finish it. And I feel like that worked a lot better for me, instead of stressing and staying up until 2 in the morning to do work, and then I wasn't even giving my best work because I was so tired. If that's something that's also happening to you, I do recommend you do that, and you just find other alternatives so you can get your sleep, because your sleep is like the most important thing. If you don't have a lot of sleep, you're going to be stressed and you're going to be irritated and frustrated with everything, really. Before we get on into like each cause of anxiety that I'm going to do in this video, I just want to tell you guys that the main point I want you to take away is that you cannot ruminate or worry about things that are out of your control. Like, if it's in your control, okay, at the same time, still don't ruminate on it and worry about it. If it's something that you've already done and you're like, okay, it's out of my hands now, that's something that I'm still not struggling with, but I'm still going through, especially with me going to college and stuff like that. I've turned in my application and everything for the college I'm going to. They still haven't got back to me, and I turned it in August. In the beginning, I was kind of anxious about it, like, okay, maybe they forgot, maybe my application got lost, maybe they forgot about it. But then they sent me like an email saying, don't worry, we didn't forget about you. They just get so many applications throughout the year that it's going to take them time to get to mine. And that's something recently that I've been not stressing about, but just thinking about constantly. That's another thing. Don't think about the stuff that could potentially stress you out constantly. Like, do something else. Like, for me right now, I have been filming a lot more videos and shorts and stuff like that, and I have a lot more videos for you guys in general. And also, I've been going to the gym. I've recently started doing a Pilates class. Yeah, so I've been in other things and I've been in other things. I've been putting my attention towards other things so that my mind isn't ruminating on the college and the decision that they're going to give me. Like, because if it was, I would be literally in shambles. I would not be able to think about anything else or do anything else, because I would be so stressed and be so worried that, oh, maybe I'm not going to get in, or maybe I'm not this or that. But no, that's not true. I'm going to get in. We just have to take it day by day and make sure we focus on other things. Another thing is, it's completely normal to feel uncertain or anxious about something, but that doesn't mean you have to let it basically consume your thoughts and make you act irrational. That means you're letting your thoughts get to you, and you're letting your thoughts have control over your emotions. And that's something that doesn't need to happen. So take a step back, breathe, and actually ask yourself, what am I anxious about? And is this worth me being anxious about? And is it something that I don't have control over? And if it is, then I shouldn't be worried or anxious about it, because I don't have control over it anymore and it's out of my hands. Okay, my foot is asleep. I have been talking, I think, for like 10 minutes now. I'm gonna have to drink some water and stretch my legs because my legs are falling asleep. But anyways, now we're going to get into the specific things that made me anxious, or that probably have made you anxious before. First one being fear of failure. First things first, I want you to look at your friend group or the people that are around you. And if if they're not for you and if they're not supporting the things that you're going through or trying to help you through the things that you're going through, they always have something to say or something negative to say, or they're downplaying your emotions and stuff like that. Get those people out of your life, okay? You do not need those people. You don't want those type of people in your life. You want people who support you and actually validate your feelings and make you feel like, okay, this is how you feel, but what's the solution to this? Get those type of people, those negative people out of your life immediately. I know it can be hard to like let go of friendships, but if you really think about it, if something has been telling you, okay, this person isn't really for me, every time I do something, they got something negative to say, or every time I do this or that, they look at me or they not really congratulating me, they do like a sly remark, they're not for you. They don't want to be your friend. They're just jealous and you need to get them out of your life immediately. The next thing is stay with supportive people and people that you know if you're there for them, they're going to be there for you as well. Don't just have a give and then they take. Don't have that type of relationship. It has to be a give and take. Like y'all are each supportive and helping each other through things that you need to get through in order to be like your best self. People, family members, friends, anybody who is actually there to support you and that you can support as well. Next, just do the thing that is making you scared or anxious, because my dad always said if you feel anxious or you feel scared to do something, that's the thing that you need to do. Just like public speaking, right? If you feel scared about public speaking and you're anxious about it all the time, that's something that you need to work on and that you need to do, because you're gonna have to do that once in your life, or at least like depending on what you're getting into or what you do, you're gonna have to do that multiple times in your life. So you might be a little anxious, but you can't let those anxious thoughts and feelings take over your mind and basically stop you from doing the things that you want to do and the opportunities that come up to you. And last thing in this category is confidence. This is something that I think everybody struggles with, especially in the beginning of their life when you're trying to figure out who you are, or you don't know exactly what you want to do with your life or how you want to go about it. Confidence is key, and self-esteem is key. I really recommend talking to your family members, and if you have a problem with your confidence, or your friends or anybody, talking to somebody and asking them about ways to be more confident. Or you can even, for me, I used to, when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of podcasts, and I forgot her name, 𝙃𝙤𝙀, you know what I'm talking about, 𝙃𝙤𝙀, the girl, the lady, y'all know what I'm talking about. Her, I used to watch her a lot. I used to watch a lot of self-care and like confidence videos. If you don't have that role model in your life, then how are you going to know what to do or how to be confident if you don't have that actual guide to being confident? Even with me doing this and filming out in public, there's like people everywhere. There's people on this side, there's people on this side, there's people up there, but you know, it does take confidence to come outside of your normal like area and, you know, talk to a camera and talk to you guys and just try to give you guys some advice. Take a page from my book and just go out and do things that make you uncomfortable and make you feel like, oh, okay, maybe everybody's looking at me, but really nobody's looking. They might glance, but they're not really paying attention to you like that. People have other things that they need to do and other things that they're worried about. So there's like, you're not really on the forefront of their page, basically. And another thing, you probably won't see these people again for the rest of your life. Very rarely, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see these people again. So just do things that make you happy and do things that build your confidence and your self-esteem. Now, the next one is fear of success. I have a few things with this because I've been watching a few videos and it seems like a lot of people have a fear of success, especially once they get to a certain point. It's like, okay, now what? Now can I keep going and keep up these expectations that people have for me? So this is something that, especially with me, I wanted to start a new business that I think about sometimes. Once I get to this certain amount of success, will I be able to keep it up and keep doing it and surpass what I've already done before? Some things that you want to do, for one, is try to keep your life as stress-free as possible. If there are people around you that's causing you to have stress, don't be around those people. If there's people around you that's making you feel bad for doing the things that you want to do and the things that you deem is good for you and your self-confidence and your self-esteem, then get those people out of your life. You don't need them, and you can always meet new people. Another thing is to stay organized. Stay organized, because when your life is all over the place and you feel like you have so many things that are unorganized, like this thing over here, this thing over there, that thing over there, you're going to feel stressed and you're going to feel overwhelmed and you're not going to want to do anything. You're going to get burnt out because because your life is all over the place. Make sure you guys stay organized. That I do this is write off lists. I use Notion, which I'm using right now for this video, to make lists and plan out my videos to make sure that I know exactly what I'm coming to do and how I want to do it. And even if something doesn't go the way it's supposed to, I can always refer back to what I wrote down and the plan that I made. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is treating yourself with care. Don't do or participate in negative self-talk. Don't neglect yourself and your self-care. I know it can be easy to just mope around all day and not do anything, but let's be realistic. That's not good for you. It's not making you a better person. It's not helping you to do anything. Normally what I do is I go on Pinterest and I look up self-care routines, or I look up things that can actually help you. I'll insert some pictures right here. If you guys haven't followed me on Pinterest, go follow me on Pinterest, because I have a lot of boards with different things that I like to use basically on a daily basis and inspiration that I take from Pinterest. The next thing is, don't worry about others' expectations about what you got going on, or how people are going to think about you if you slip up or if you don't slip up, because no matter if you're homeless or if you're living in a mansion, somebody's going to always have something negative to say. So there's no reason you should be taking these people's opinions so to heart that it's now I have to do everything that everybody else wants me to do and nothing that I want to do, and you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed because you're trying to do these things that other people want you to do and not what you want to do. Okay, y'all, that was the fear from success category. We are going to move on to the next thing, which I know you guys, probably a lot of you guys, is something that I kind of have a little bit as well. Social anxiety. This is a big topic, especially for our newest generation. We're basically in our phones every day, all day, and we don't really have much social interaction unless we put ourselves out there to have social interactions. I feel like it can be really easy to have social anxiety and struggle with it and be awkward around certain situations and certain types of people. The main things I want to tell you guys is get out of the house. Like me right now, I'm out and about. I'm in the park. I'm just filming my own video. Nobody's bothering me. Nobody's staring at me uncontrollably. It's not as bad as you think or as you presume it to be, because you wouldn't know what could happen if you're in the house anyway. On social media, it can be a lot of fear mongering you and to not want him to get out and do things, because every other video is oh my god, this guy messed with me, this girl messed with me, oh, this person is weird, don't go out, don't do this because there are weird people out here. But in reality, everybody is not like that, and a lot of people just mind their business and stay to themselves. The next thing is talk to more people, get out more. If you're in a cafe and somebody decides to sit next to you or trying to strike up a conversation, don't be awkward, because that's what I do. I'm kind of awkward and I don't know how to keep a conversation, but that's something that we have to work on. The more conversation that I have, the easier it'll be for me to keep up conversation with certain people. And some people, they just want to talk and they just want to have somebody to talk to, because in reality, we are all on our phones all the time. So other people, they might want to have some interaction, some human interaction outside of their phone. Other people, especially if they come up to you, they're nice, they're respectful, as long as they don't get disrespectful or anything like that. I feel like it's okay to have conversation. A little conversation can turn into a long-term friendship. Now you have somebody that supports you. Okay, the last thing for social anxiety that I have is read more books. I know it can sound weird, oh, read more books, what you talking about? No, read more books, because this helps your vocabulary significantly. I know a lot of people do reading online and social media and stuff like that, but that actual physical books, read more books so that you can get your vocabulary up, and read, self-help books if that's what you're into, non-fiction books, fiction books, just books that have a big vocabulary in them. I recommend you guys read so that you can know how these words are used, and if you want to use them in a conversation, you can use them in the conversation as well. People are surprised by other people and the vocabulary that they know. Make sure you guys read more books. Now we are on the second to last category in this video, and this is things that helped me with anxiety attacks and panic attacks. So let's just say you're in an anxiety attack, you're basically experiencing it. The first thing I would do is look around your environment and start naming things, you don't have to do it out loud, but in your head, naming things that you see, you feel, you hear, because this will help ground you and make you feel okay, I'm having this anxiety attack, but I'm still here, I'm still in my setting and my environment, and I know this environment, so it makes you feel more comfort from that. Sorry y'all, there is this dog. He's barking at everybody that walks by. He's still cute though. Next thing is breathing. breathing exercises. So what I do is breathe in for 5 seconds, hold my breath for like 6 or 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds, and that will regulate your breathing. That's also a sleeping breathing technique too. So you know, after your anxiety attack or after you calm down, you might want to go to sleep and take a nap. You'll start to notice that your heart rate goes down and you're feeling less anxious. Your breathing is being more controlled. Something that I do is the more that you try to like hyperventilate or your breathing gets unsteady, the more anxious that you'll be and your heart rate will not go down. So yeah, make sure you guys are controlling your breathing when you're feeling these types of things. Another thing is a soothing touch or like comfort. What I do is if I'm laying down on my back, I rub my stomach. This can be different for everybody. You can have somebody else, maybe your significant other or your family or your mom or dad, anybody, comfort you, rub your back, and talk you through the panic attack. You want to make sure that you're relaxed. You don't want to think about what's making you anxious. You want to think about the soothing touch, the comfort, the breathing exercise, whatever you're doing, you want to think about that. The last thing I want to say is do not rush it. Let yourself slowly come out of being anxious. You don't have to rush and hurry up and stop being anxious. You take some time to actually calm yourself down and comfort yourself, because you don't want to, as soon as you get out of a panic attack, immediately you go back into another one because you didn't give yourself enough time to relax. Take it slow. It's okay. The last section of this video is key things you should take away from this video. The first one is do not ruminate on things that you cannot control. Another thing, pay attention to things that trigger you. So if there's certain people, things, thoughts that trigger you, make sure that you actively try to avoid those things. Overall goal is to not constantly have panic attacks and to not experience panic attacks. Stay organized. Don't overwhelm yourself. Make sure you're making lists, planning, whatever you need to do to stay organized. Don't be afraid to get out and try new things. Get out. Go to the park like I am. Go to the coffee shop that you've been wanting to go to. Hang out with your friends. Hang out with yourself and be by yourself. 2, meet new people. Try to strike up conversations with people that you feel like want to have a conversation with you, but y'all both might be awkward. So you be the one to step in and actually have a conversation with that person. The second to last thing, surround yourself with people that support you and that are here for you and that actually want to actively help you. The last thing is be patient with yourself. Don't try to rush things. I guarantee you, after you do these things and you work on yourself and you do these things that I'm telling you in the video, you will feel 10 times better. You will stop being anxious about a lot of things and really get a new mindset of just like, if it's out of my control, then I can't do anything about it. Okay, lovelies, I know I've been talking for this entire video. That is it for today's video. I hope this video helped you guys and really gave you guys some insight on how you can do better with panic attacks and anxiety. If that's something that you're going through and you clicked on this video, I really commemorate you for taking the first step. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye!